Hey guys, Jill from Whole for Life. Happy pre-Memorial Day, or Memorial Day Eve, I guess you would say. I will get back to the makeup tutorial about clean makeup and best products to put on your face and that kind of stuff. But I wanted to take a minute because I've gotten a number of messages about sunscreen, given the warmer weather and being out in the sunshine more and that kind of stuff. So I will try to add here the recipe that I used for years when my kids were little and I stayed home and had more time. I made our sunscreen. It worked very, very well. As you can tell, I don't know, I don't have a filter on, but just in general, sometimes it doesn't come across, but I am very fair. I do have pink undertones in my skin. So historically, I would burn very, very easily if I weren't careful. Now, I believe strongly in vitamin D and the power of vitamin D, the power of sunlight. So I don't want to put any sort of toxic thing on me or my children for many reasons. My kids are both complected very similarly to me. My husband, I'm sure I'll get some hate on this, but he is extremely darkly complected and he uses no sunscreen. He never burns. He's smart in the sun, but he doesn't use any sunscreen. Also, his vitamin D levels naturally are off the charts. So. But for my children and myself, we always have to use some form of protection if we're going to be out more than 15 to 20 minutes. Now, the first 15 to 20 minutes, I typically do not apply anything. Just keep that in mind. And again, everybody has their own opinions about that. I'm not here to debate that. I'm just answering questions that have been asked of me. So I'll try to link the recipe to what I used for years and years with great success. My kids still got that golden brown. We're very fair and have a lot of pink in our skin, so we're never going to be that dark bronzy brown, but we do get pigment to us every summer without all the blemishes and the risk of skin cancers and all that. So, but now I'm very busy, and so I try to cut corners where I can as far as time is concerned. This, I don't know if it's frontwards or backwards on this, but this brand, again, not sponsored by anyone, not necessarily endorsing anyone, just telling you what I've used for a long time that has worked very, very well for me. So this one is a natural SPF of 40, and I don't know if I can get that close enough for you to see, but you'll see the only ingredient, really, is zinc oxide. Now this is a clear or a processed form of zinc, so I'll show you the inside. This one I've used a little, but this goes on clear. It's like a balm. It does apply very, very easily. You don't have to worry about that. I usually don't let it go quite to room temperature, quite to clear, or 98-degree temperature, because I want to be able to see where I apply it. So, but that's what I use the majority of the time. There's a couple of organic brands that are pretty clean, so if I need to reapply, this lasts for 80 minutes. I find that it lasts more like at least 120, especially with, even though my kids are adults now, they don't apply every 80 minutes. They just don't. We're on the lake every day we can be, in the boat. So we've got this. Also, zinc is really good for wind protection, not just sun protection. So this has just been extremely good for us. There's a couple of spray forms of that. This particular company has a couple other preparations that are good as well. But this is the one, and it's Sport. That's the one we use because we're outside. So, or we're active. If we're not on the lake boating or swimming or tubing or skiing or whatever, then we're hiking or, but there's going to be probably some sweating involved. So this one works very well for us. Additionally, I just wanted to give you a little tip. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but if you have stagnant lymphatic fluid, a lot of people don't even understand the lymphatic system. And quite frankly, we're not taught a lot about it in Western medicine. Everything I learned about the lymph system, I learned after Western medicine. But if you are someone who struggles with holding on to lymphatic fluid, you will be far more prone to burn, especially in those areas. So for me, if I'm sitting a lot, or if I'm not properly caring for my lymphatic system, and sometimes it happens, I just get busy, and full transparency, I don't do all the things I know to do. So I will usually gather a little lymphatic fluid around my knees and around my ankles, but on the outside of my ankles. I don't have a lot of ankle swelling, but on the outsides of my ankles, a little fluid pocket, and around the interior, inside, medial aspect of my knee, I can gather just a little bit of fluid. So there, and wherever your weak spots might be, it might be hands. I had a lymphatic injury years ago to this arm, so I take extra care of it as well. You might want to apply a little extra sunscreen, because as that lymphatic fluid is kind of stagnant, it pushes the skin up. You've got a thin layer of fluid underneath there. And really it would apply to most any type of swelling, but particularly with lymph system. Then you're going to have, it's going to be much easier for you to burn in that area. So I just thought you guys might want to know that. If you do have a tendency, me for example, if I just put a regular amount of sunscreen on my, particularly it happens on my right knee more than my left, and my right ankle more than my left. So if I just applied a normal amount of sunscreen to that area, it would get a little pink or a little red. So I always reapply there again before going out or after my 15 minutes out in the sun. So if you have any areas like that, or if you want to know more about the lymph system, let me know. I will do as many videos as you want on the lymphatic system because it is extremely important to the body. But that is just a little tip for you. If you're someone who just feels inflamed overall and you just feel like you're carrying a little more fluid in general than you should, number one, I'd love for us to look into that and figure out why that is and get you maybe some lymph tonic or something to help with that. But number two, do be very intentional about how you apply a healthy sunscreen when you go out into the sun because you will be more prone to burn. So think about it like kind of when you're on the water, it's easier for you to burn. And there's a lot of principles behind that, you know, reflective light, the water, that kind of stuff. Well, when you have water that you're holding onto in the body and it's pushing the skin upward, it's going to be easier for you to burn. So, and that really doesn't matter what your skin type is. So just wanted to kind of let you guys know that, thinking that it might be something you've never heard before. But yeah, this is the sunscreen predominantly that I use. Again, I will try to, maybe I'll just put it on the screen, whatever. The recipe that I used though for years for our kids. So if you have the time and have the resources available to you and can get these products, quality matters, feel free to make your own sunscreen as well. But this is a pretty affordable one. And again, we'll try to link that, or either I'll link it in the comment. I'll probably link it in the comments for you, where you can go and get this at the same wholesale pricing that I get it. So I hope you guys have a great day. Be safe this weekend. Again, I'm not here to diagnose, treat, or cure you. These are my opinions based on years being in the healthcare industry and 14 years in the alternative, functional, and integrative health industry. Have a great weekend, guys.